the way a lot of people reset their mental compass. Some people can use religion. Some people can use drugs. Some people could use a mixture of both. Depends on what you're cool with and whatnot. And so, keeping that in mind, you can go any way you want when it comes to deprogramming and becoming a new person. So, the way that I did it was a combination of different things. I had always been raised to be, I was raised in a religious situation. Some of it just seemed very strange and very, almost occultic. Okay. And so with that being said, I always felt a little bit uncomfortable, especially in like a Catholic church. But see, those are particular places that they don't value, certain aspects of people. And they kind of like strip that away from people sometimes. And that's because due to their beliefs. Okay. And so when we work backwards to become who we truly are, we have to remember that when we were born, we were not taught. I mean, we were, when we were born, we didn't come here in this world having all these restrictions placed on us. These are restrictions placed on us by others. Now, I'm not saying like religion is bad or anything at all. Okay, it's just, it could hinder some of the practices, depending on what your religion is, could hinder your growth based on the facts that, we're supposed to think and talk and do things specific ways. Like if I was to try and help my grandfather, who was a Christian Scientist or something? I forgot what it's called. But I couldn't have been able to really do anything for him because that was a brainwashing cult. And I'm sorry if you're one of these people who are practicing this particular religion, but it's saying that aliens from outer space are living on this planet and like they're gonna attack. It just seems, I don't actually know all of it. I'm just saying there are specific things that I'm like, what? And it seems like that in all religions. They seem to go real far into a specific way of thinking. And I'm not saying that it's bad or anything. It really depends on how you absorb the message. Because I've realized that not everything is being told like, boom, right in your face. Okay, when you get information from the divine, from spirits, they don't communicate the same way. Okay, so I have a particular tarot channel where I'm saying all this crazy shit. And it sounds really mystical and cool. But when you think about it, it could be taken 20 different ways. And as a human, we need there to be specificity. Because we want to know what specific energy we're supposed to get. What is the message? And so when I actually get down to it, a whole minute and a half of talking is literally 3 sentences. Because I have to boil it all down into its purest form. And so that's what we have to do with the messages that we get as well. Taking everything that is said, not even with a grain of salt, but just with a grain of being able to, I guess, absorb the message in a way that a human can understand messages, rather than a divine being can understand messages. And I think that that's what makes it hard. As like people, like religious leaders, it's very difficult to get the messages across, because we have to be able to take these crazy messages, okay, because we're humans, and these people are, and like, they're fucking in another world, giving us this information, and we have to take what they're saying and make it so that everyone else understands. And so the way that somebody interprets the word of God, or the word of like any whatever they believe in, they have to be able to project that message correctly so that a human can understand it. And so a lot of the times we might be given mixed information, confusing information. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. And that is not anyone's fault. That is just how that message was portrayed at that particular time. So what I like to do is remind people, reread things, okay? Like, I know I sat there in church and I didn't know this, but I'm pretty sure the devil knows the Bible forwards and backwards, okay? Front to back. They know it. Why wouldn't they? There was an angel at one point. There's still probably an angel, but like a demon one or whatever. Whatever you would be if you decided to, fallen angel. Yeah, you would be a fallen angel. And so it's kind of like, okay, even a fallen angel has full knowledge of what's right and what's wrong. And so as a human, it would be nice, for those energies to be able to misconstrue the messages that are coming from the divine, okay? from those godly energies. And the fact is that being able to interpret things, we have, as the people, have gone through our own situations. So the way we are going to project things could also be all jumbled. And so that's what you got to understand with religion, is that whoever the messages were interpreted by may not have fully understood everything. And it might not be even possible to express all of the messages in like a human, okay, like I said, it was like maybe 3 sentences out of like a minute and a half, because I have to boil everything down. We as humans cannot, not all of us can understand everything in such complex ways. Maybe at certain points we can, but I've realized even when I'm really good at explaining things, there could be another moment where I am not good at explaining things. And that makes perfect sense. So we have to take the messages that we get and kind of, I guess, maybe take some time, the way we take the time to, think about, okay, well, I'm feeling really bad. We also have to take the time out to feel good and also look deeper into the messages. Thank you. There's always a deeper meaning to something, and there could be several meanings to one thing, and that can make understanding things very difficult. It can make it almost like impossible for the right messages to get through. So we have to think broader, bigger, outside of what we think is normal, and like the way that something turns and intersects and becomes the same thing, even though it's straight off so far away from itself. It is literally the same thing, such as dark and light. So it's like, how could I express what I just said more in a better way for you to understand? I could say, well, we are good and bad. We can't be perfect. That's the best way that I could express it. And so it's like, you could take all these awesome, beautiful messages and boil it down into something that is on point, or you could boil it down to something that isn't quite right. People can misconstrue things so that it works to their own advantage. And that's where I bring in the deprogramming. So I know that was a long way to go, but it's all part of it. So I don't have to keep explaining what it is these messages are being misconstrued in order to push some kind of narrative, push an idea that they have. Okay? So that's what's important to understand as well. Being able to see all sides of a situation, the light sides and the dark sides, and being able to accept the both sides exist within me, within you, within everything, within every single moment. There could be a dark, you could think, oh, that person's so evil. Or you could think, wow, their message is so clear. You know, you could think two different things about me at this moment. And you have that right. But the truth is that literally my intentions are to just simply help somebody understand. Even myself, I don't quite understand everything. So I'm going to get right into it. I can't really see what it says. I speak divine word. So I'm going to get right into deprogramming. So deprogramming is being able to see through like I said, the light and the dark of a situation. Being able to take the truth that's just what life is. There are good things about stuff and there are bad things about that same awesome stuff. Like roller coasters. They're fun, they're exciting, like, oh my god, but they make me sick, I feel gross, they scare the shit out of me, they break, they explode. I mean, you know, there's a lot of awesome stuff about things, but there's equally bad things. So we just have to accept the fact that that's just what it is moving forward. And we have to see beyond what we think. We have to see beyond what is in front of us, what we're told. I'm one of those people who don't like to listen to what I'm told, okay? I like to see both sides, all right? I do want to see, I guess I'm more of a detective. As humans, you know, we might want to know things, okay? So I see myself as a detective as to like, okay, well, they said this, this, and that. And last week, such and such and such happened. And then everything compiles together. And it's like, oh, that's why they were unhappy this week. And why it was harder to deal with them that week. And why they said all this that time. And why they acted this way. So I would feel a certain way. And I'm just like, man. And I'm honestly at a point where it's like, you become that fortune teller. It's not that you are a fucking fortune teller. It's that you are basically like Sherlock Holmes. You could see into the future because you know the patterns. You see everything for what it is. And it's not that you want to. It's just that it is what it is. And when you open your mind up all the way, that's when you know. That's how I know that I'm in my Sherlock Holmes state, where I'm like, y'all, like this act that you did was cool and equally like petty because of this, and that. Like, you know what I mean? Because you did this, and that on top of it. I saw, you know, it becomes evident what people are doing because you are so self-aware. And that self-awareness comes from the deprogramming. Being able to actually see something really broad from a few sentences. You could take those little sentences and apply those specific meanings in my little you know, my little divination from the divine, and it literally gives out so many messages. And I literally do it from just like an empty space. There's no like, oh, you know, I'm doing it for this or I'm doing it for that. Usually the messages are actually pretty nice. I can show you. I can show you. In fact, a lot of the times I feel like, wow, like you could get something really nice out of something I've been told my whole life is bad. And I was just like, I gotta stop thinking so programmed. I gotta stop thinking inside of the way that these people forced me to think. They forced me to think that this is bad. But, you know, doesn't this also, okay, like I've been told weed is bad my whole life. My whole life. Oh, only losers smoke weed. Only somebody with no future would do drugs. And it's just like, what? I look at, like, all these celebrities are on all kinds of things. Are you kidding me? And I'm not saying, oh, do drugs, you be famous. No, you can't correlate things like that. You have to be able to open your mind all the way up and understand, yes, there are bad things and good things about everything. Okay? Good morning. And once you accept that fact, you could basically be happy all the time when you realize that every situation is going to have a negative aspect and a positive aspect to it. And once you start to strip away the fear of what you've been told your whole life, you could then move forward out of being programmed and into a new world. It's almost like swimming in a lake your whole life, and then suddenly the lake like splits open and you fall into like a bigger lake. And you're like, whoa, I thought my world was just this little circle over and over and over and over. And then once that shit breaks, you're like, what? Like, there's just so much more. Once you really open yourself up to specific experiences in life, mentally, like in your mind, I feel that's where you're truly going on an adventure. And it's like, it's free. Anyone can go at any time. And you should do this before you get too rigid. And then you just think the same way. Like, see, I feel that it could happen at any point. There was this really old lady, and her son had depression, like really bad, and they decided to dope him up on pills because weed is so bad. And they ended up giving him all these pills, and that guy went crazy and tried to kill her. Thank you. He tried to kill her with knives. He was like inches away from stabbing her, and like somebody had to like grab him and shit. And now she's like, oh yeah, I don't care if he smokes weed. Like, come on. I honestly would not. I would rather just smell some stinky stuff than have to get stabbed, personally. I mean, I don't know about y'all. But yeah, I've been told my whole life. But you know what's bad about it? What's bad about weed is losing the ability to get bored, losing the ability to I don't know, not eat so much. Not eat so much. I don't know. It's not really a bad thing to be calm and relaxed and mellow, especially if you're somebody who deals with high anxiety or high stress, or maybe just you're not a very happy person. It could kind of relax you and put you in a better position in life. And I feel like that's a small start for some people. In my situation, I had never smoked, I had tried weed and it didn't work. And so when I got older, I tried it. And then like around 20, I was like, whoa, that actually helped me a lot. It helped me like relax. Because I was running at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Okay. In all directions. Okay. And it helped me, it helped ground me. You know, it helped keep my mind a little calmer, keep my abilities a little smoother, because I used to work so much. Like, I used to work 24 hours to the point where I just wasn't good at what I was doing anymore, and then I'd have to stop, and then I'd have to get back to it. I just was running on full cylinders. It kind of evens you out at a young age. In my mind, that's what I needed it for. Now I just do it here and there, when I feel like it. Yeah, and so I'm saying, like, we were taught that weed is bad for I don't even know how long, and people still think it's bad. Not everyone, but I'm saying this old ass lady who almost got stabbed by her son because she tried to dope him up on pills, she even was capable of seeing, oh, okay, I've been told weed is bad my whole life, but weed has never made my son try to kill me. Like that's how she had to learn. Don't be like that. Take your own initiative to learn things. And you are all, like, especially men, I would say, like, you guys have a little more, like, personally, I've known guys to just be like, nah, I don't want to do that. Like, even if all their buddies are doing it, they're like, no. I think as a guy, it's easier to do that. Just be like, fuck no. When I do it, people are really surprised. I'm like, bitch, did you really think I was just gonna do anything? Like, anything? Like, you really thought I would just do what you wanted? You thought I had literally no backbone? So, I don't know. I feel like it should be easy for you guys to be able to say no, or I'm going to take a second look at this, or I'm not going to believe what I'm told because I'm not a little fucking baby and I could find out for myself. And I'm not saying go to a fucking another country and then the country people are like, hey, don't go into that lake because it's made out of sulfuric acid. And then you're like, oh, fuck you, I'm gonna find out for myself, la-di-da-di. And then fucking, I'm not saying do that, alright? I'm saying, like, shit, I would throw a few rocks in that bitch. See what happens. No, I wouldn't fuck around like that. But you know what I mean? When people are saying, like, oh, don't talk to this person, blah, blah, blah. Maybe I might not talk to them, but I might watch them from afar. And then once I find out that they are like that, I'm like, oh yeah, they are like that. All right, that's cool. I can fucking find out for my damn self. I don't have to listen to people. I don't have to listen to what I'm told. So once I take that into understanding, I feel like a little bitch for all the times that I listened to somebody that said weed was bad. It's like, you were trying to keep me from being calm, motherfucker. You were trying to keep me from, like, chilling. You saw me working hardcore every day of my life. I was gonna burn out before I hit 30. And you didn't show me how to chill out. And it's like, yeah, it is okay when people say, oh, it's not my responsibility. Well, if you know stuff and like, say you know about the acid pond, the sulfuric acid pond, and somebody's walking down to it, you better be like, hey, no, that shit's made out of sulfuric acid. You need to share that information. Once you know something, I feel like it's your responsibility to kind of share that info. If you see somebody struggling, pay it forward. Why not? What harm does it do you to help another person? That person might think of you later as like, hey, like, they told me this. Now I'm going to tell you this. It's like, it's cool. And then it makes you the cool person, that really nice guy who gave this person info when they didn't know anything, or when they were down on their luck, or when they were just being stupid, or when, and it helps to pay it forward. I feel like you get it paid back too. You get paid back because then you get to exercise that information and remind yourself how, I guess, how you learned that shit. It always reminds you back to the person who told you, like, oh yeah, I remember they told me not to go in there because that would burn up. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like that in the sense. And so it's like, yeah, people, you can see things for yourself, but you don't have to experience it for yourself. Everybody has their ways of doing things. You don't have to put yourself out either. You know, you could just leave a little sticky note. Whatever. I don't care how you do it. If you can help another person, might as well. You know, especially if it literally costs you nothing other than talking to another person and you don't really like people. Oh, well. Oh, no, it's fine. Like, it's not advice. It's mainly just knowledge. Okay, I wouldn't say pass on advice. That's like forcing a horse to drink water. I like the idea of trying to make a giraffe drink water. Good fucking luck. But yeah, no, like, it's not really advice. It's just information. Like, literally information. Like, say the stove is hot and nobody told you that it was just on and it's still kind of hot. You might want to tell somebody that's getting near it, oh yeah, it's still hot. They might be able to feel it, but they might not even be thinking. Like, they might not be, you know, maybe the heat isn't radiating hot enough or something. Just telling somebody something isn't really advice. It's just information. So that's how I try and see things. This isn't like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, I know everything, blah, blah, blah. This is more of a, think for your damn self. Think for yourself. Deprogramming is literally thinking for yourself. It's not listening to me. This is simply information. It doesn't matter where this information came from. It could come from my ass for all I care. If it's good and it helps me, I don't give a fuck where it comes from. It could come from a homeless man on the street. If it's good advice, well, not advice. If it's good information that helps me, I'm going to use that information. And that's it. Like, I don't care. I'm like, could come from my ass. But it's legitimate, okay? Literally, we have to think for our damn selves. So if you don't want to take this information, I don't care. That's on you. It's just info. We have the right to do ourselves however we want. And yeah, if like, I want to say maybe like 7 years ago, I was not ready to be enlightened. I was not ready to be happy. I was just fine being a miserable bitch. I was just fine with it. I was completely okay with it. And it was because I just didn't want to deal with myself. I didn't want to deal with anything. I knew it was going to be really hard. And I didn't even know where to start. But I had to unlearn shit. Unlearn all the garbage that I was taught. All the garbage that was shoved down my fucking throat my whole life. Oh, this and that. Oh, being gay is bad. Like, I'm not gay, but it's like my mom and my folks and, you know, we even had like gay people in our family. So I'm like, okay, like, how is it bad? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, all these people try to tell me, oh, like, this color skin is bad, that colored skin is bad. I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck what color skin is. What the fuck they do. What the fuck do you do with your life makes you a bad person? Not the fucking way you look. You could be the nicest prostitute in the fucking world for all I care. As long as you are nice and that's, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying is, like, it depends on your attitude and your behavior if I mess with you. I've been really good friends with the people down on their luck, you know, that they don't have a lot going for them. And I'm totally cool with them. I don't think, oh, I'm better than you, da 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 da. I can't sit with you. You can't sit at my table. That is some conceited bitch shit, okay? We all already know that. So all I have to do is deprogram myself. If I am one of these mean girls, oh, you can't sit with me. Why can't they sit with me? Is it because they suddenly lost the ability to bend their knees and sit on their ass? Or is it that I have suddenly decided to see myself as better than another person for no fucking reason? Because that's how I see it. There's no fucking reason unless literally, I'm sorry, Betty, but when you sit next to me, your perfume makes my eyes tear up. So can you sit on like the other side or something? That's different. Okay, like literally if there's like some physical reason, oh, that person really stinks. Okay, maybe that's definitely a different thing, y'all. Take your baths, okay? This is not advice. This is not advice. Take a shower. If y'all stinking up the fucking sitting area, just do yourself that favor and take a shower. Be nice to yourself. Don't give a fuck what that mean girl thinks. Care about yourself and the way you are for you, okay? Me, I have a hard time, but I literally have to, take care of it so that I can sit with people and they're not like, hey, you know that really hot chick? She fucking reeks, bro. That'd be hard, okay? And I have worried about it, but I have high-end perfumes and deodorants and I'm I eat a clean diet. But people can do better for themselves, like you can help yourself when you need to. That's advice, but it's also just your choice, whatever you people do with advice is their own. Me personally, I've never been one of those people. Literally, unless you got pulgas jumping out of your fucking hair and onto me, we can kick it. But at the same time, I'm more of an introvert. You know what I mean? So it's like I rarely do things because being an empath, I feel everyone's little boo-hooies. And it's just like I'm a happy mofo. But if like I have to be like, oh, it's okay every 5 minutes, that's emotional vampirism. You shouldn't have to be consoling the person you're with all the time. Like that shouldn't be your job. That's like a therapist, like, But I digress because I'm going off. But even that could be programming. Like maybe we're programmed to think that other people need to be there to console us. As babies, people say, oh, don't go and make the baby stop crying because it'll take that baby's ability to cope away. And it's like, bitch, what if there's something wrong with the baby? Like, and that's why the baby's crying. Why don't I go look and check, and if there's no reason, then I'll let the baby cry. Like, what if it just crapped itself, like hardcore, or something like that, and I'm just like gonna ignore it? Some people are crazy, y'all, okay? But that's just how I see things. You can see things however you want. You don't need to listen to, this person or that person or another person. You can take information and apply it when necessary. All right? If something isn't working for a specific process, Maybe it's about time to change the way you do that process. Maybe some things work with some people and not everyone. You know, like some like me talking to little kids, if I used puppet animals and I'm like, you gotta wash your teeth, brush your hair, and like, you know, I try that here, that shit ain't gonna work for you guys. That'd be like, okay, you know that crazy lady who talks to adults with little puppets? No. I mean, maybe that'd be funny, but at the same time, it'd be really weird. I mean, it is kind of weird. As it is, I'm just talking to a screen. Period. But that's as much interaction as I'm comfortable with. That's me. That's what I'm comfortable with. And a lot of people could try to program me, okay, by coming to me and saying, oh, you need to get out more. You need to do this. Oh, FOMO this, FOMO that. It's like, what if I don't care? What if I'm not one of those people who needs to do something every Friday night? What if I'm cool with relaxing here and there? You know, and just not doing stuff. I am like a bodybuilder. Maybe I don't want to go out every Friday night. Maybe I want to do something else with my time on Friday nights, you know? Like, people will be like assuming things too because you don't tell them everything. That's also programming. We are programmed to assume things rather than ask questions because we are programmed to think that all confrontation is negative when it's not. It's not all confrontation is negative. It's the way you go about it that could be negative. Okay? I can't. I can't read you. No. You stay in your lane. I'm gonna stay in your lane. Y'all in the wrong place for that. So pretty much you could think however you want. Apply the knowledge that other people have given you when you decide. So it's really that much, you know. It's that much. It's that easy to just kind of be your own compass. You don't need everyone to tell you what to do. People who listen to other people on what to do in life are the most miserable people because they made all these choices based on others. You know, there's this guy, he left someone perfect for him, for a person who has money, okay? And this person apparently was like, they didn't have anything. They didn't even have a good personality. They were ugly. They had no money. And now this person who left that really great person that they really wanted to be with, they cannot go back. Okay, so that was the mom's plan the whole time, is to make her son miserable. So if he didn't listen to his mom or society when it came to money and status, he wouldn't have lost it all. See, that's why I like to think for myself, because then it is my choice. It was my thought, my feelings that got me to the point where I'm at, instead of say, oh, I listened to all of my friends and my family and now look at me. Because then you're going to hate your friends and your family. And you might even start to realize that your friends and your family hate you by giving you this bad advice so that you would have a bad life. And then it becomes all too clear who the enemy is. No, I'm joking. But this is a very specific situation. I'm not saying like everyone is your enemy. I'm just saying you got to see things clearly for yourself without someone else really feeding you information. And see, I had this person in my life that actually tried to tell me, oh yeah, I don't like finding out the hard way. And it's just like, no, it's not just finding out the hard way. It's thinking for yourself. Like I said with the sulfuric acid pond, if somebody tells me, oh, don't go down there, that's a sulfuric acid pond, but I see 20, 30, 40, 50 other people swimming in it, I'm not going to believe that bitch. I'm not going to believe what they say. But if I see that there's nobody around, it's desolate, and it's like the pond has a weird color to it, and like it's smoking, yeah, maybe I'll listen. We can see things for our damn selves. We don't have to go and experience things and get hurt, you know? And we can listen to our negative thoughts. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. That nagging programmed thought. Or we could just observe for ourselves. We really don't need to rush forward and do things that we're told before looking. You know, what if somebody tells you to run across the street? You're not going to look for cars first? Like, really? Oh my god, that reminds me of Good Boys. I watched that movie last night. They cut out the worst scene of that whole movie, which I like paused it so I didn't have to see that moment. And I did not have to because they cut it the fuck out. They actually put a PG version. They should have offered you a PG or rated R plus. It was a bad movie. Let's just say that. When I saw it in theaters, I was pretty sure that was the last time I was gonna see the actual movie. So basically, getting reprogrammed is being able to just think for yourself and not trying to, you know, run with somebody else's narrative. That's like, okay, what if I listen to one of my friends about so and so being a complete asshole, but I see them with all of the new girls that they're dating and this person isn't acting like an asshole. I'm stalking them. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I'm stalking them and I'm watching them from afar, and say I'm at the next table and I got my little my little monocle. I'm watching them, and everything's fine. Like, nothing's like, the conversation is nice, everything's fine. I didn't need to date that guy to find out. I could just ask the girls too. I could just ask the girls and they could say, "Oh yeah, he's a jerk," and da da da. Or I can, I can observe how this person acts with other people. And I would say that that's what gives me the understanding of how somebody really is how do they act with other people. And it's not just people that we're meeting on the street, or the waiter or the waitress or whoever. It's how do they act with their close friends? How do they act with their close family? Are they keeping all this away from you? Are they keeping this stuff a secret? Do they not let you see how they interact with the people around them? Are they putting on a facade? Like, I really do all those types of understandings before I invest, if you know what I mean. And investing properly. But see, that's the thing, is like, people can play games, people can play a charade, but when you're around somebody long enough, you'll know if they're genuine or not. And a lot of the times people pretend to be genuine by keeping quiet and not saying anything, or putting on a face, or just trying to act like somebody else. Over time, you'll see who people truly are, in my mind. And it's not consistent. People can be like really nice to their family and super mean to whoever they're actually like seeing as a partner or an individual. So that's something too. I always consider those things. It's like, okay, well, they treat their mom like dog shit, they're probably gonna treat you like dog shit. Or they treat their dad like dog shit, they're probably gonna treat you like dog shit. They're probably, a misogynist man or a woman, because women can be misogynist. Um, definitely. But it's more men because they think that women are bad because their moms hit them with the belt or something. But it's like, well, your mom was the only one around. No one else can discipline you. That doesn't make all women bad. It just makes, them reliable for everything, you know. I don't know. Maybe some people have nice dads and crappy moms, or I don't know. It really shouldn't matter. You shouldn't compare whoever your parent is to whoever you're going to be with is. In my mind, they're two different people. You know, I mean, I don't know how they're the same fucking person. But it's all this just deprogramming, working in your own way rather than what you've been taught or what you've been told. Or maybe people were taught how to draw with their hands, but you're not good drawing with your hands. Maybe you're really good drawing with your feet. I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. You got to think different ways. I mean, I'm not saying that that's gonna work. I'm just saying to think differently. Think your own way. Like, learn how to think your own way. Maybe like I said, with all of the messages that I get, some of these messages are kind of okay, I would say these messages are too sweet. Like, I almost feel like, oh my god, like, that's so cute and like so sweet. Like, that came from me. And I'm like, no, it didn't come from me. It's not my words. They're from Holy Spirit. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. like no, I'm not this perfect little angel person, but I'm not like a complete I'm not like a complete cretin either. I'm a normal person. I have my own good things about me and my own bad things about me, and I definitely am not perfect, and I'm not trying to be. And anyone trying to be needs to relax. Y'all don't need to do that, okay? Y'all can relax. Being on full cylinders 24/7 can be really difficult. Trust. I know. So I'm gonna finally show you guys one of these, and then I'll be out. Well, actually, I got a few more minutes with y'all. Okay, cat eating pancakes. Okay, you can't even see it, y'all. This cat really is eating a pancake. This is gonna be me in a few minutes. In a few minutes, I'm gonna be feeding myself some orange juice. Those will be my pancakes. Orange juice cakes. That is such a weird thing. Okay, so this one is from me. So the message here was, trying to bully you has left them in grief because you found your power. You've unearthed your power through faith. The confidence in yourself helps you find happiness in the darkest of situations. But listen to the audio, okay? The audio is it's the same, but it's not. So, so here it is. All right. So here's the message. I hope y'all can hear it because it's kind of quiet.
Hello, welcome back to Destiny Tarot. I have a new reading for you today. Let's get started. Holy Spirit, angels of the highest white light, and ancestors of the highest white light, please guide me as I give this reading to the collective.
See, that's not me.
What do we need to know?
It's so calm. I have to meditate.
All right. Perfect. So, when it comes to a formidable opponent or obstacle that is in your way, when it comes to giving way to your power. It's possible you're giving too much when it comes to purification and cleanse situation, when it comes to grief. Right, and when it comes to grief, you're unearthing your power. Okay, so somebody here is doing a lot of shadow work, and I feel like it's because you're breaking away from something that has caused you a lot of grief. Don't worry, have a lot of optimism, because on your journey, you're going to have to just trust that you can harness your eternal flame. I feel like you can alchemize the energy that's being sent to you and find happiness in any situation. Have a great day or night. Bye.
See, that's completely different than trying to bully you has left someone in grief because you found your power. You've unearthed your power through faith. Your confidence in yourself helps you find happiness in the darkest of situations. That's exactly what it is, though, from my perspective. But that was the message. That was literally the message that was poured through me. And obviously you could see that's very different from what I'm like now. And that's how you channel divine energy. You channel that divine energy through the practice, through my own practices. That's how I've learned to connect with God on a very high level. So it's like what you see right now, this is the real me. That is like divine channeled messaging, okay? So you could see there's a complete different side to normal people too. Being able to give out divine word is probably a lot nicer than just being, how I am now. It sounds nicer, it's calmer, it's more peaceful. And I'm not saying that I can't, be calmer and more peaceful here. It's just, I feel like it doesn't serve the purpose. Like, I can give all of you this message as real as possible. And I feel like that is more suitable for this environment. And, I hope you guys like that. I hope you don't need some little, calm meditation stuff, because I could do that too. But I like a little bit of both. Like I said, you gotta accept the light and the dark and work with them both. And I'm not saying like, you know, I'm doing the worst, most horrible thing right now by being myself, but it's a little bit different than when I'm working with pure divine energy. I have my own energy that I feel is a little bit stronger because of all the things that I've had to endure, or the things that they tried to put me through. But I feel like I'm too old for your little tricks, the bullying, the little comments. It's too old to care, y'all. And honestly, I feel like the people who do care, it's because they're not really secure with themselves. When you have somebody who's truly secure with themselves, they're not really thinking inside the same box as you. They're thinking, they're not really thinking on the same vibration. So it's kind of like what works on you might not work on someone else. What works on someone else might not work on you, because some people might care about more shallow things than other people do. And some people might care about certain other things that other people don't. So it's like, I don't know. I would just say that I always stay in my own lane. So that I can enjoy my life. I just keep to myself. I don't put my nose in other people's business, and I would say that that's probably the only advice that you would get, but that's not even advice, because I'm not saying that you should do that. Do whatever you think you need to do. Because I don't really think anybody's path in life is to, have a bad life or to be a bad person or whatever. But, to each their own. I respect whatever it is that you do for yourself. Other people might not respect you and you might not respect you, but I think eventually you'll figure it out, you know? People figure out things. But that's how I would think learning something the hard way is finding out when it's too late. Dun dun dun. Hello. Waiting until it's too late and then realizing that you should have done something that would have been great for you and then not doing it. Confirmation. It just, just do what you gotta do. Believe in yourself. You can do the right thing for yourself at all times. Okay, it's never too late to deprogram yourself and get back on track. All right, so I'm gonna post this on YouTube. Hi YouTube, and I will see you guys later. Okay, so have a great day or night wherever you are, guys. Bye.